ask you a question, feel free to write.
Everyone has a unique gift, and Mike, the creator of the One Life podcast, believes most people don't know how to use their gifts or what they are. Mike wants you to see things from a different perspective and be true to yourself. The One Life podcast unites the world through art, fashion, music, and film. It inspires, motivates, and creates positive energy, love, and compassion to all communities, and creates an equal playing field for all. On the One Life podcast, they cover topics like building relationships, overcoming adversity, habits of healthy people, and much, much more. We only have one life to live. Be yourself and live your truth. Add the One Life podcast to your playlist. That's the number one NE Life. Available on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, and your favorite podcast platform.
Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the One Life podcast. I am Mike MIC Reed. And as always, we're here to talk about positive psychology and taking care of our well-being because everybody has an amazing story. And we're here to talk about your story. And today's in studio, we have Ethel from AQMNI Murals with us today. How you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Very happy to be here.
And today you have a couple of your students,
Yes,
right, with us today. Yolo and Annie.
Hi.
Hi. How are you guys doing?
I'm good.
Nervous?
A little
bit? Don't be nervous.
All right.
This is going to be simple. Watch. We're going to get through this in about an hour and a half, and it's going to seem like 20 minutes. So, Ethel.
Yes.
I was reading your bio earlier. You and Carlos, your husband. You guys started AQMNI Mural. Is it AQMNI Mural or is it just AQMNI?
We just go by AQMNI, but we're a mural company.
Okay, mural company. Mm-hmm. Okay, so tell me, because I read that you guys kind of gave up your 9 to 5 for 24/7 is what we call in business. Everybody always want to give up the 9 to 5, but don't realize it's for 24/7.
Absolutely.
But you guys went to Hawaii. Now, was you guys already in Hawaii, or did you go to Hawaii?
Yes. Yeah. So when we decided to go to Hawaii, we were hoping that we had planned a year long of travel, and we were hoping that while we were traveling, we would discover our next step in what we wanted to do. So we didn't really know.
Okay.
We just knew that we wanted to change.
Right.
And in the farm that we were living on, our hosts, they knew that we were artists. And then the pandemic hit, so we couldn't continue our travel. So we were stranded in Hawaii on their farm. And they were like, well, we want to take a break from farming. I would love a mural in our barn. And Carlo and I looked at each other like, we've never done a mural before. But she said, it's the same as art, just bigger. You guys are artists. And we're like, you're absolutely right.
Right.
The reason why we knew that this was something we wanted to continue doing is because when we painted that mural, we didn't say a word to each other.
No.
We were so in such a meditative synchronicity. Mm-hmm. And after we painted, we were like, whoa, we didn't even talk about hey, you got this section, I got that section. We painted it, and afterwards we were like, wow, we're a pretty good team.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to do the mural?
I think we finished it in a day or two. It was a small mural in a.
Is that the mural that you guys have the picture on your website? Where you guys are sitting?
We're sitting and I have a shaved head.
Yes.
Yes, that's the one.
That's the one. Okay, that's dope. I was hoping that was going to be the one.
Yeah.
You need to have that in there. Okay, that's pretty dope. Wow. So when you guys was thinking about going on this traveling adventure, you was creatives, but you didn't know in what space.
Yes, exactly. We knew that we loved art, but we didn't really know how to make it a living outside of the corporate world that we had been working in. Carlo is an amazing graphic designer, and he had run entire marketing campaigns for really large companies. He's worked for Disney. So he had a really amazing background in as a corporate creative. And I studied art. I got my bachelor's in studio arts with a multimedia emphasis.
Okay.
But I still went into videography and photography, content creation for businesses and e-commerce websites.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Wow. So you took that and now you do murals. That's funny because when I started off as in entertainment as a graphic designer.
Oh, okay.
And that's what got me into TV and producing and all that. But what's crazy is because back in the day when I was younger and I started in graphics, I used to get a lot of jobs because people used to come up to me and ask me, "Hey, can you do this?" And my answer was always yes. When do you need it done? And mostly they said it'll take about, like, they need it done in 2 weeks, right? So in my mind, I said, okay, cool. I have a week to figure out how to do it, and then a week to complete it. I did that with every project until I figured out how to do everything. I never told nobody no. I said, okay, I'm gonna figure this out.
I've heard so many stories like that,
Yeah.
and it really is. You just gotta be like, I'm gonna figure this out, and not stop yourself before even.
Right, yeah, and I think that's why, I've never had a 9 to 5. I've been on my own since I was 14. So I think that's why I've always been the type of guy that I just figure it out. I never told nobody no. I just like, I'll figure it out. Especially nowadays, like YouTube and
With YouTube University, anything is possible.
anything is possible. No, remember that, guys. Like, seriously, you guys can do anything. I'm the master of copier, and you gotta rethink about it. And it's not a bad thing, right? Like everything, no one recreated the wheel. No one reinvented the wheel, right? Like even Elon Musk, right, with the Teslas, he didn't create electric cars. Electric cars have been around for centuries. You gotta think about it. They started off with electric seats, electric windows. He just changed the gas to battery. So everything is really recreated. Like they took something from somebody.
Yeah, I think one of the struggles, something we struggled with was, being like, we have to be original and we can't take, there was so much fear in being seen as an imposter or a copier. But it really is, we're just all inspiring each other.
Okay. So before I continue with more of your story, I want to get into Amy and YOLO's. How did this come about?
Oh, the program?
Yeah.
So, gosh, once the pandemic was, kind of sizzling down, Carlo and I started taking our mural work very seriously. And we were trying to get businesses to let us put murals in their offices, their spaces. But we didn't know how to, price ourselves, anything about contracts, how to treat it as a business. People were like, oh, art for free, right? Or like the least amount of pay possible. And we would even ask other artists, and they were, it's such a survival mentality in the artist community, like feeling like any opportunity that comes your way, if you share it, like, oh my gosh, well, how am I going to survive? Right. So people didn't want to talk about how much they were charging, how they were doing things, how they didn't want to share resources or connections. And, we understood, we respected it. But we were like, when we figure this out, I feel like we should be helping each other. We should be sharing the knowledge, and we could change the entire starving artist perspective if we're just sharing knowledge. Right. And of course, 4 years later, after figuring all that stuff out and making it an actual business and getting some frequent work, we had our son. We have a 2-year-old. Oh. But when I was pregnant, I was like, we need to help like the next generation of artists. And we took everything that we knew and we packaged it into a mural mentorship program. I was also, I had also started my master's in art therapy, and I had learned that when people are put into therapy, well, first of all, they're already in a really difficult position. And in particular with art therapy, you only get 12 sessions. And in those first 12 sessions, you have to get to know the person and teach them like about how they can use art to heal themselves, express themselves, to regulate their emotions. And by the time it's the 12th session, they're barely getting comfortable, and they're just about to like learn and be able to use it, and then they have to be outsourced to another therapist or some other kind of resource. And I was like, we should be teaching everybody this. It shouldn't have to wait until we have to get a therapist to learn these things. Right. So I took that, and we took the career component and we kind of fused it into one thing. And there was this amazing opportunity from the California Arts Council where they were funding community projects for 1 year, and with a salary and with medical benefits and with 401k.
Oh, wow.
A retirement account. So for an artist, you know, an independent artist, I was like, wow, we have to do this.
I wish I would have known about that. Lisa.
So it was very competitive. I applied for various organizations, so the money was distributed to a bunch of nonprofits in all throughout California. So we were applying and applying, but this one organization called 18th Street in Santa Monica, they took some of that money and trained all of their finalists in how to properly make a budget and propose something. And they did a lot of hands-on workshops. We did it for I want to say 2 months. They trained us in how to, so in case whoever didn't get selected, they would be able to go off and at least to apply and have a better chance than they did in there, which is, I'm super grateful for that opportunity that they even did that, because that's the accessibility to grants and going through the application process is a whole other thing. But we were chosen out of 400 applicants. They only chose 18.
Oh.
And we were one of those finalists that were selected. But I grew up here. I went to Highland High School, went to ABC, and I was like, man, senior year, people are just hanging out, you know, not really sure what's next, trying to figure things out. I feel like it's and it's also the time where you're really trying to understand your emotions, why you feel things, and it's also I don't want to scare. It's kind of a scary tactic, what's the word? Statistic. Okay. But it's that between 14 and 17 is the onset of when mental health just difficulties arise.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, this is the perfect age group. We were connected with George Davis of the the Art Commission in Palmdale, who connected us to Chris Holiday at RX Paris, and from there she helped us get some students that were interested, that she thought would be a great fit. But yeah, that's how I got my cohort. Annie in particular, though, I had to go out and find her a different way. There's the TANF over here on 5th Street West and Palmdale Boulevard that I feel like I wanted to make sure that I was offering it to as many members of different communities as possible. Right. And Annie is Satavium, so I wanted to make sure I included some indigenous students as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
So I want to hear from you guys. So Juan, what do you think about the program?
It's an amazing program. At first I thought it was just gonna be another art class, like how I have at school, but it's so much more than that. I've met so much of this community I've grown up in through this program that I didn't even know existed. I had no idea any of this art, over here on Lancaster Boulevard or even in Palmdale even existed. So to see it through this program and to be able to make such an impact on the culture through our murals we've done, I think that's amazing. And it's run by the two best people, I think, for the...
Oh. How long you been in the program?
It's about to be a year.
About a year? Okay.
Yeah.
And what would you say was one of your adversities that this program helped you with?
Before I joined the program, I genuinely did not know what I wanted to do after high school. I'm a senior in high school. I'm graduating in 3 weeks. Okay. And when I first...
Congratulations.
Thank you. And when I first started, I was beginning my senior year. And this is like she said, this is the year where we're supposed to figure everything out, basically. And through this program, I finally realized that I kind of want to do what Ethel's doing, which is art therapy. And that's genuinely what I want to pursue. And it's re-sparked my love for art.
Oh, dope. I like that. What about you, Yolo?
Yeah.
How long you been in the program? About a year or two, or?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, yeah. Before this program, I honestly had no clue what I want to do. And Ethel and Carla helped me find my I guess purpose. But now I see how I want I want my life to be. I want being with the community. It's made me realize that there's so much support and positivity out here. And it's I really enjoyed communicating with all these people and meeting new people, and I think I want to be a part of the community, I guess. I mean, just more involved,
Right.
yeah.
Okay, I get that. I like that.
Mhm.
So as far as you working with the kids, what is your perspective now? Because is this your first year doing it?
Carla and I have been doing community murals since the beginning.
Okay.
It was always like, yeah, we did our stuff for businesses as a business, and we do that, but our main projects have always involved community. We've worked with like kindergartners through 5th graders, 8th graders, but this and a few high school. We did a few high school cohorts, but for this long, for a year, yeah, it's our first time. Our programs were usually only 6 weeks long, and we would go in like once or twice a week. So the length that I've been with these guys has been way longer, and it's been really rewarding, like getting to know them and just going through the entire journey. And I honestly feel like I've learned more from them than I ever imagined I would.
That's pretty dope. I mean, I always say that we learn so much from our youth. Like we can't always think that because we're older we know it all, because we can all learn from each other.
Yeah.
Young or old, we can all, because especially nowadays. I mean, obviously, time changes, and we have to evolve as well. And the youth is always going to be more innovative than us, how we was back in our times. So I always try to listen to the youth and try to hear their ideas, because they have amazing ideas.
Yeah.
I mean, look where we are now with technology
Absolutely.
because of the youth.
Yeah.
So
I also think that we often don't hear them as much as we should, and their experience is so important to the future, right?
Yes.
The way they see the world and all the experiences they're going through now, it's shaping their decisions every single day. And they're about to make a lot of decisions between now and maybe like your mid-20s that is going to affect the future of your entire community.
Right. Yeah. And the one thing that, like when I was younger, I was always, our generation was always taught, never to speak unless spoken to. And I never liked that, because that's why a lot of adults now don't speak up on things, So I always encourage kids to speak up, and obviously in a polite manner or whatnot, but talk to somebody. Like don't ever hold anything in. I guess it's very important.
Yeah. And one thing I liked is, so for the first maybe like 3 or 4 months, they would not say more than like 3 or 2 words to me.
No.
I would even bring them snacks and water and lunch, and they would not eat it. So it was really a lot of like gaining their trust, being consistent, and showing them like, hey, we don't need to talk. How are you feeling? Draw it. What color is it? What does it look like? And we would always have these presentations of how they could use lines or shapes, put it together, and how it can evoke some kind of emotion.
So let me ask you, have you guys completed like a full mural?
2.
Oh, 2. Okay. And which one was your favorite? Amy.
My favorite is the third one we're doing. That's not finished yet, but it's on Palmdale Boulevard. Right?
Why is that one your favorite?
It has indigenous representation, which is it's very important to me.
Very, very
And the colors, and obviously all that stuff.
Colors.
But I love all the murals.
So when it comes to murals, are you more into shapes or colors?
Haven't gotten that far yet. I'm still figuring it out.
Different. Is that a fair question? Like
I think so.
in art therapy, like to figure out like what you're more into?
What's funny, in art therapy, there really are no rules.
Okay.
It's more of once you put something on paper, subconsciously you somehow, like the release of what you were thinking of or what you were trying to get on there, it's a release in your body, and maybe we'll never be able to put it into words, but at least it's out and I see it, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm feeling, but that's it.
Right. I asked that because I'm a big art fan, and I like abstract art. So I like shapes and lines and stuff like that. Because I can look at any shape, and from a creative standpoint, like whenever I need to be creative and I got like what they call creative block, I could just sit here and I could literally look out that window and just pick a shape, and I can start shaping things my way, and I can start getting creative, and it's something that's just popping in my mind. So that's why I love abstract art, because you can see so many different things in there, you know, from your vision, from your perspective. Yeah. So that's why I asked that, you know. But a lot of people are into colors, you know. But I've never been into colors, to be honest with you. I've always been into shapes. I don't know why.
That's cool. That's funny because I'm the abstract artist and Carlo is more of the like storyteller.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's the one that gets our imagery really right in the message, composed in a very beautiful way. Yeah.
So Yellow, which one was your favorite?
Which mural?
Yeah, which mural?
That changed. At first, I thought it was our second one, the one on the longer one.
The owl one.
Yeah, at first I thought it was that one. I really liked the whole color scheme on that one, and that was really cool. But now that since we started this one, I've really grown to like this one. And I think, like what Annie said, the imagery it represents also.
Okay.
But also, I've stepped out of my comfort zone more on this one. I've felt like I've grown more on this one also.
In what way?
Well, one, I have like a fear of heights.
Oh.
I did not know that.
So, what's it called? I've been on the ladders. I'm like, usually I know which step I don't go past, but I'm like, there was this one part. It was a jet. There was no I guess there's no guide to it. They're like, yeah, there's no guide. If you want to do it, that's all you. So I did, and it was like real high up. So I'm like, okay. At first, I had to pick what colors I want to do. I had I guess
Take a breath, man. It's okay. Yeah, relax.
No, yeah. So I guess I had freehand that whole thing, but there was a guide to it. But like mostly, it was up to me on how I wanted it to be. And
did something speak to you that you wanted to do it? Just because I'm asking, because you said you was afraid of heights, right? So obviously you knew you had to go higher than what you typically do. So did something speak to you that you said, you know what, I really want to do this?
Yeah, honestly, yeah, it was kind of like that.
Okay.
Also, it was like the boy playing with the little jet, like also the message, and it's like kind of like, I guess in a way spoke to me. Okay. So I wanted to like give myself that little challenge and go a little further than I usually would have.
Yeah. You also pushed yourself beyond the heights. You did like a gradient, right?
Yeah. I've never really worked with like acrylic like that, like gradients wise. So that was new for me, and I had figured that out.
Now, you feel good about it?
Yeah. I feel like it was solid.
That's dope. I like that, man. Congrats on that.
Thank you.
You should be proud of yourself on that. Yeah. Which one's your favorite?
Mine?
I know you've done like several, but
of the three, I really love the first one. I love the color palette. I really enjoyed drawing it. I think what really makes it for me is the Palmdale license plate. It's so subtle in the back, but it says East Side Palmdale. And this one person was riding by on his bike, and he was like, East Side? And I was like, wow, I've never... Like, this is what I wanted. Like, I've never, I know I grew up here. And usually when you talk about East Palmdale, people don't really have the best things to say. But for him to feel like, yeah, like, I'm proud.
Part of it, too, is right.
You know? And I don't think I've ever even seen it written out that way either. Like, as like yeah, we're repping this. We have culture here. There's something to be proud of. This is my neighborhood. To see that in real time, somebody be like, yeah, I was like, woo, you know, and also the turnout that we got from the lowrider community. I feel like aside from the design, that whole experience was really overwhelming in the best way. I have to shout out Antelope Valley Cruise Nights. The night that we were painting up there, I had been trying to call the sheriff's station, you know, just to be like, hey, I have like minors with me. Can I please have some like backup or something, you know, just in case these streets are really busy and we're going to be there at night to trace it. And without even asking, they showed two of the members of the collective showed up, and they're like, oh yeah, I mean, you're not going to be out here by yourself. We're going to stand out here with you. And they parked their cars and they were just watching our bag. Everything was just so we were just so well received by the community. So many people showed up, and it was our first one. It was I think it's just very special to me in my heart, like just that whole experience. So that was my favorite.
Okay, no, I love it, and that spoke to you. And I love the fact that guy he rolled by and gave you that moment.
Yes,
That was a special moment.
it was for me. Yeah, because I was like, this is exactly what we want to do. You know.
So, in art therapy, let me ask you about that. Why is it important for the youth to like really get into like have that art therapy?
I think, gosh, that this like adolescent age is, there's so many intense emotions and things that they might not understand, and I feel like they feel like they're expected to bottle it up and act like they have it all together, because they're not at an age where they need to be spoon-fed or changed or anything. It's like, hey, you're an adult. Well, you look like an adult now, but you know, it's like such a weird in-between where they're not treated as kids anymore, but they're also not fully accepted as adults, and it's such a clash of emotions. It's such like an in-between that I feel brings up a lot. And I know I did it. I was like, whatever, this is just what I have to do, and my feelings don't matter, because what matters is the grades, the jobs, what I look like to society, making my parents proud, making my teammates proud, like performing. And I actually was able to dissect all of that in my program, where I was like, wow, I was really bottling a lot of things up, but I didn't know how else to talk about it.
Right.
And that snowballs into, you know, many years later being like, I don't know why I'm angry. I can't pinpoint why I'm angry. I can't pinpoint why I'm so have this like subtle like sadness like following me, and like I can't tell you it was this or it was that, because it's a buildup over all of the years of you being like, oh, it was just a little event, it was just something small, it's not a big deal, or you know, and it all like turns into something bigger that might be much harder to manage when you're an adult and working and have bills to pay and a family to take care of. It just compiles. So I feel like if I could help give them the tools now, you know, to at least, hey, I'm really frustrated, but I know if I can like scribble on this big piece of paper and then rip it up into, like, I know that like it's out, you know.
No, and that's important because, you know, I went through a lot of trauma when I was a young kid, and I'm a big fan of therapy. And but it took me till I was like my mid-30s to go talk to a therapist. Now I love it. And I always wonder, and like all the trauma that I did occur when I was younger, I thought I had buried that. So when someone told me to go see a therapist, you know, in my mid-30s, I was like, for what? I was like I was just saying. I was like, yeah, I'm good. Like, just because that one little event was like that, it's nothing. It's over. I don't forgot about it. I moved on from it. And once I talked to a therapist, he was like, no, you're mad and angry because about what happened when you was a child. And I was like, that's impossible. It's like, I've been moved past that. And we just started having these sessions and conversations, and it just all started to make sense. Yeah. Like, I forgot, he had a phrase, and I need to look it up, because he was saying something about buried, oh my God, what is it? Buried emotions. Lisa, like, I don't know. You say you always have the answers. Yeah. Something about buried emotions, they don't die. But they're still, because they're still alive. Yeah. No matter how far back you put them in the back of your mind, they're still there. The one thing I do remember him telling me is that at some point, everything that you bottle in is going to eventually come out at some point. And he said the longer you hold it in, the bigger the explosion. Yeah. And that's something I definitely remember. And I used to always have these big explosions, you know, and it's kind of similar to like the Will Smith slap, right? Everybody thought that was about the joke. Yeah. No, it was about everything he was holding in. That was his explosion. So it's similar to that. Like, the longer you hold it in, the bigger the explosion. Yeah. That's why I tell people, don't hold it in. Go do whatever you got to do to get it out. Talk about it. Do it like you said. Throw something. Like, get it out. Yeah. So I love the art therapy thing, especially for youth, because youth, they really don't want to talk. Yeah. It's hard for them to communicate sometimes. Yeah.
And another thing that I loved learning about like art therapists is that they'll have their talk therapists come to them and be like, hey, I can't get through to this family, or they're not, communicating with me, and they'll be like, oh yeah, let me see them for a session, and they'll guide them through an art activity, and they'll kind of be able to, help them a little bit and guide them.
I love that.
Which I was like, wow, that's really cool, because art is a universal language. You don't really need to
It is.
talk to be able to kind of dissect some things.
So what's next with the program?
Wow, that's a good question. We have a lot of traction. I mean, they've expressed interest in like a phase 2. We're like, now, we know how to do the murals. We know how to kind of kick off our own like little entrepreneur opportunity, I guess. But like, how do I sustain it? What are the logistics? How do I keep it going? How do I expand? How do I grow? And we have a lot of attention from the city, from like schools, from nonprofits, and we actually became a nonprofit.
Okay.
Yeah, we were, we went as far as we could as a business, but we see a lot of opportunity in partnerships and collaborations as a nonprofit, because a lot of people have expressed wanting to support what we're doing. But back to your question, right now we're in the works of applying for more grants, establishing partnerships that would allow us to continue, and hopefully have a new cohort in the fall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, do you two see yourselves as being like mentors now, since you went through the program, and talking to other kids about it?
As of right now, like, not people my age, but like younger kids, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, younger, because kids look up. Because I used to work on a kids show for like 18 years, and that's the one thing that we've learned from that. Is like kids always look up. So so you're a senior now, right? Yeah. So if you went to like middle school and talked to them, even at that young age, just to get their minds, kind of thinking about, high school and stuff like that would be kind of, amazing, because they would listen to you opposed to like listening to us. They're not going to listen to us. So yeah, that'd be great. And you same?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Like you. You're not really shy, huh? Is he? No, I don't think he is. I'm gonna stop messing with him. But so what? And you going into schools?
I'm trying to. This year, all of California schools received funding from Proposition 28 to expand their arts programming. So I've been trying to maneuver my way in that way, but it would be ideal. We've also connected with so many amazing local artists, and if there's a need, I see the need for programs like this to exist, and we have an army out here to be able to provide for the school district. Right. It's just about putting all the right pieces together.
Okay. I like that. I think that, in the schools, and I'm not going to minimize what the arts, the art programs they have in schools, but I think what you're doing is pretty amazing, and I think the schools should be more open to like your type of program.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Well, we're going to get there. We're going to try to get there. But you're going. I overheard you talking to our good friend over there for a degree in art therapy.
Yeah, I'm going to Loyola Marymount University. Okay. Yeah, that's down in Marina Del Rey.
Culver City. Yeah. Okay. And how much longer for you?
I have 2 years left. I am on their 3-year track program because I am a mom and I have a business. So I am trying to.
You got that 24/7 business.
Yes. Yeah.
And then once you graduate, like what's your steps after that?
I want to focus my efforts here.
In AV?
Yeah, I think we need it.
I agree.
I think we need it. There's a lot of opportunity, and I just want to enrich my hometown.
I like that. Yeah. Okay. And for you, what's your plans for after you graduate?
I'm probably gonna go to AVC and start try to get what Ethel's doing, art therapy.
Oh, I love that. Do you want to do the same what she's gonna do with hers degree, or? Or you haven't seen that far yet?
I haven't seen that far. I just know that's about the route I want to go.
I love that. What about you, Yellow?
I'm bouncing on ideas right now. At first, it was like just go ABC, get a welder certificate, and move on with my life. But as of now, I've been like really wanting to pursue a career in arts, whatever that may be. But yeah,
And that can be a lot because art, I mean, just the creative space too. I mean, you guys can take what you learned from this program and like there's so many different avenues and lanes you can go with it. You know, it's not just painting. You know, arts is so wide open.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got time. You're young.
Yeah, that's what Ethel's been showing us, like all these different arts and mediums, and just really exposing us out to what's out there, and I think that's great.
I love it. I love it. So, I already asked you what's next, right?
Yes.
Yes. Is your program like completed now, or
We will be complete as soon as we finish this last mural.
okay?
But I am having a graduation ceremony for them in June, which we are looking for sponsors if anyone is interested.
Well, tell us about it.
Well, it's going to be at the Antelope Valley Community Gallery over across from Corson on 10th Street East and Palmdale Boulevard. And I really just feel like my cohort worked so hard and pushed through so many challenges, and they really went all in. I told them at the beginning, I was like, we can really, I'm really trying to open up this world for you, but I can only go as far as you will let me, which is why establishing the trust with them was so important. But I have them showing up to public art commission meetings with me, speaking, addressing the commissioners, speaking. We most recently went to a city council meeting where they spoke.
That's great.
Yeah, in the
Is that part of your curriculum or your
It
program?
originally was not, but now that we're this deep, they're like, wow, we see what our art is doing. We want to continue to advocate for other people to have this opportunity. So they went to go speak on their experience, and they addressed the city council about how it affected them and how they believe that it should continue for more of the community to experience.
I love that.
Yeah.
Was one of you there?
Yeah, guess who spoke? Don't say. It was one of them.
Yellow?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. You got to tell us what you said at the committee meeting.
I just talked about my overall experience from the beginning and to the end, and just how that impact has made in my personal life and to everyone else around me, and obviously the community as well. And it's basically wrapped up what I said. I only got 3 minutes to speak, but yeah.
No, that's great. I mean, and thank you for speaking up, because that's important, especially someone, and especially from a man like yourself, young man, because a lot of men don't speak up, and so I thank you for that.
Thank you.
It's very important because you're going to get a lot of other young men that's going to look up to you and thank you one day for that. That actually made an impact, whether you see it or not now, down the line. Hopefully you'll see it. And Amy, what about you? Like, did you speak?
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
But if you had a chance, what would you say?
Basically the same thing that Yellow did, how everything has impacted me personally, and the program, how it should keep going, and how important it is for the community and the youth.
All right. Definitely think it's important for our community.
Yeah. I never told Yolo this, but he said something about, he's like, well, now I know that I want a life full of meaning and fulfillment. Which for me, I'm like, yeah, you don't have to know what it is, but that is huge, because I feel like at this age, people are like, I got to get a job to make money, to get a car, to do, they're looking at the material things, but then years down the line, they're like, wait, why do I have this feeling of why do I exist? Why am I doing this? Like, I already forgot. I already have everything I have, but like there's something missing inside. And that was huge to hear from you, Yolo. So I thank you for saying that.
Oh, we just had a moment. But anyways, thank you guys for coming Truly appreciate it. Truly appreciate you guys going through the program and, getting something out of it and wanting to do more for the community, because that's definitely important. So I love to see the youth doing things for the community and showing other kids, that anything is possible and you can overcome things. So thank you for that.
Thank you so much for having us.
And thank your husband, Carlos.
Yeah.
Shame that he couldn't be here with us today, but definitely thank him and congratulate him on a successful program. And hopefully you guys, can get more grants and keep it going.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Any last words? Oh, where's the mural going to be?
Any last words? Well, I guess the mural, the last one?
Yeah, the one you're working on now.
It is on 3rd Street East and Palmdale Boulevard.
Okay.
And we would love, you heard it here first from my students, but we would love to continue the program, and any people that are interested in supporting us in any form, sponsorships, donations. We are an official nonprofit. It is called the Astral Project, playing off the AQMNI, the cosmic theme that we really enjoy. So if you want any more information,
Where can I reach you or get the information?
Our Instagram is AQMNI_. And you can find our website and our emails on there. Astral Project is very new. We will actually be debuting this weekend at the Live Oak Wellness Expo, and next weekend at
May 25th, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why I don't have that information with me right now? May 25th. What's the information? Come here, Lisa. Don't be shy. Legacy Commons on the 25th of May. What time? Noon to 5. So come out and support.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be a part of these, because I feel like we might be one of the only arts organizations out there, which is groundbreaking for the AV. So
that's great. Yeah.
I'm very happy to represent and share the light.
Right. So yeah, you guys want more information or even meet Ethel, and are you guys going to be there as well? Maybe, yes. Some of the youth, yeah. May 25th from noon to 5 at the Legacy Commons. So yeah, thank you again, guys,
Yeah,
for coming out.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. All right, we out here, you guys.